Limitless Wrestling fans, we are back with the Limitless Wrestling Podcast. It's our seasonal hiatus. John Alba and the Czar of Limitless Wrestling, Randy Carver, here coming to your ears wherever you get your podcast. We go through these every now and then when we get really, really busy. But the good thing about this busyness, Randy, was that it wasn't just with life itself, but it was about preparing Limitless Wrestling for 2021, where we really have got a good idea right now of how things are going to be looking for at least the first half of the year, and we're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, there's so much coming up for Limitless Wrestling fans, whether you're viewing on YouTube.com, whether you're viewing on IWTV. You've seen the announcements, I'm sure, by now. We're going to talk about it all today. The Road Season 3 is coming. It actually premieres this Wednesday, if you're listening to this on Monday when it drops. So be sure to check that out in double vision, coming up Friday, March 19th. But enough about that for now. John, how you been, man? I know you've been busy, too.
I've been incredibly busy doing a lot of business travel and Invisalign. And, Erica and I have been busy lately. So it's...
Yeah, what is this Erica business?
What do you mean?
I mean, you must have a new love interest in your life. I've never heard a thing about Erica.
It's my significant other.
This point.
It's my significant other.
Oh, okay. So we gotta be talking about the old Emmy here, huh?
Yeah, Erica. The Emmy.
I mean, I don't know if it's like weird that you named it, period, or if it's weirder that you waited how many years to finally give it a name.
What do you mean I named it? Her name is Erica.
Well, it hasn't been up to this point. This is a new development.
How do you know? Maybe I just never talked about it because it was something that I didn't want to reveal who she is to people. So all these cretins who slide into my Twitter DMs telling me how hot I look would be intimidated by her.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I that may have been something, like, if that was your jive. I don't know. Like, how do you feel now that it's out in the open?
It feels right.
All right. I was going to say maybe I would have kept that one locked down, but to each their own.
We'll hear more about Erica later, okay? But we've been busy, and it's been a pretty crazy start to the new year. I really felt all the positive vibes from the Limitless Wrestling fan base on the heels of the Vacation Land Cup, which I really do believe was, in-ring wise, quite possibly the best show in Limitless Wrestling history. And it's amazing given the circumstances. But now that you've had a couple months or so to really soak it in, how do you look back on all that?
I think I'd agree with you. I think top to bottom, that felt like one of the best Limitless shows we've done. And it's so unfortunate that it has to happen when it happened, with no fans there, a closed taping. But I'm very happy that we're able to do something like this. I'm happy that we're able to push forward. We're actually taping right now. I don't mean to go off track, but we're taping right now on the 1-year anniversary of Practice What You Preach, which was the last live event that we were able to run in Yarmouth with an in-person crowd. And it's just crazy how things have changed, how it continues to stay this way, and how wrestling has changed so much. It's just crazy what it looks like now. And I certainly wouldn't have thought, a year before this, we'd be crowning a new Limitless Wrestling champion in front of no one for an IWTV, streamed event. But I'm happy it worked out this way because it's still something that we're able to do for the Limitless audience. It's still some times that we get to share with the locker room where, we're not seeing these guys hardly at all anymore. And that's something I miss the most, is just the camaraderie that you feel at shows. We're seeing these people, every 3 or 4 weeks at one point, some every 2 weeks if they were working Let's Wrestle too. So you go from that to not seeing someone for, 8 months, 9 months. It's super weird. And it's even more with the Limitless Wrestling fans. So Vacation Land Cup was finally a night where we got some semblance of normalcy back. We were feeling the love on Twitter all night. I know you were locked in on there as well, just seeing fans from all around the country, even out of this country, and especially our close to home Limitless Wrestling fan base, whether in Maine or around New England. I think everyone just felt a really fun sense of that family vibe, that community vibe that you feel at Limitless Wrestling shows. So I loved that aspect of it. But yeah, like top to bottom, you look at some of my favorite matches that we've ever had. Daniel Garcia, Lee Moriarty, CJ Cruz really rose to the occasion against Christian Casanova.
I watched Lee and Daniel again the other week. I legitimately think that might be the best in-ring match. Like, forget story alone. Technical wrestling, I think that's the best match in Limitless history, and I think it may have surpassed Cassius Ohno and Zack Sabre. I really do.
And that's a tough feat to beat because anyone who was there for the night of Chris Hero, Zack Sabre Jr., it was a magical night when those two were in the ring. But yeah, it was such a fun night, especially with like all the trouble that came with that show. We had a wicked snowstorm that night. The power went out at the venue for a little bit, but we made it happen. And it's a testament to the crew we had on hand as well, because it still never ceases to amaze me watching these wrestlers who, you know, they go from a jam-packed schedule, some 2, 3, 4 shows a week, to who knows when they're going to wrestle again. You know, some only wrestling 2 or 3 times throughout the pandemic to that point, and some, you know, it's so few and far between. To see everybody show up in just peak physical condition, ready to go, and a lot of the roster, in my opinion, having the best matches of their Limitless Wrestling tenure, just blew my mind, and I think the fans really appreciated that.
Well, it has set us up for a major show, Double Vision, March 19th. It's a Friday night this time, not a Saturday night like the VLC was. It's our first full-size Limitless event since the Vacation Land Cup. What kind of insight can you give people as to what the plan is for pay-per-view style events like this going forward for at least the first half of 2021?
So Vacation Land Cup was a massive success. We had sponsors come forward, more than I ever anticipated, sponsoring matches.
It was our highest viewed event ever, correct?
It was, yeah. It was our highest viewed event on IWTV ever, and that was set nearly right off the bat. So a lot of people were checking out that show. A lot of people interested in who the new Limitless Wrestling World Champion was going to be. And it set us up to do more this year. And it kind of, once that aired in December, seeing all the support that we had, views and financially, because, right, obviously, like, you know, the ticket sales are so huge to producing live events of that capacity. It's so tough to do right now because a lot of our revenue was from those live events, whether it was ticket sales or merchandise sales in person. We were printing out a lot of merch ourselves that ended up being sat on. So having all that support going into that event and seeing everyone who watched it, we realized that, you know, this is if I could talk, sustainable thing that we could do. We can push this forward. We can do more of these, and we probably don't have to wait so long in between them. So that's what really we've been doing behind the scenes right now.
What's so amazing is at the VLC taping, you said, I don't know the next time I'm going to see all you guys because I don't know when we're going to be doing one of these again. And here we are right now.
We taped it in advance, and when we were in the process of recording, we're just starting getting sponsorships going. We're just starting the sponsor a wrestler options. And I never want to assume what that's going to look like because we haven't done much of that. We've been pretty sustainable ourselves, luckily, knock on wood, building up to this point slowly but surely and getting to where we are. But this is a time frame where without the support of the fans, without the support of sponsorships, we can't do those major kind of events. So when we saw all that flooding in the weeks leading up to the event and then getting there and realizing, wow, like this is something that we can continue to do, then it's starting to game plan. What are we going to do? How many are we going to do? How can we continue to make this safe and continue to create a safe environment for all the wrestlers who are coming in, continue updating protocols as the state of Maine calls for them. But we've had tremendous success with all the tapings we've done so far. and it's going to continue throughout this year. So you can expect after Double Vision, that's going to be our 2021 kickoff with these full-size events, and there's going to be a lot more coming down the pipeline if we continue to have the support that we did for VLC.
And who knows, if things start taking a turn for the better, which, knock on wood, right now things look like they are going that way, and if everyone starts to be safe and responsible, who knows, maybe we're talking second half of the year where we're having a legit Limitless Wrestling show with people in attendance.
Well, hey, I mean, we were talking at the end of last season. We were looking at permits in outdoor locations for something that we could do very spread out, and that's something that we're continuing to look at as the warmer months come to the state of Maine. I know you're basking in Florida right now, but it is currently snowing outside of my window, so something that we're not going to look into probably until the end of May, early June, but that is something that was in the works, and we still have some plans in place from last year that didn't get to be able to be used.
Well, that's great to hear that. So you're going to be getting more Limitless Wrestling pay-per-views as long as the fans continue to support, sponsorships continue to roll in, and that's a great thing. We are taking sponsorships, especially for this Double Vision show. You can sponsor a wrestler. We already had all the matches sponsored, which is awesome, but you can sponsor a wrestler for this show. And in order to do that, you just email limitlesswrestling@yahoo.com for more information. Randy will get back to you on that. Anything you want to add on that front?
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. It's the same kind of format that we did last time. We'll provide a list of the unsponsored wrestlers so far. I'm actually happy to report that about 10 roster members have been fully sponsored thus far over the past couple weeks. So very cool to see. But if you're interested, shoot an email over to limitlesswrestling@yahoo.com. I'll send you all the information, and you can actually choose what specific wrestler or wrestlers you would like to sponsor for any amount you'd like.
Nice and easy. How about that? So we've got this show on IWTV, Double Vision, and listen, if you watched the VLC final, you knew just the chemistry between Daniel Garcia and Christian Casanova was off the charts, so we waste no time, and we're going for a prize fight here, Randy. Christian Casanova versus Daniel Garcia. All the rumor mill is swirling about some news that we anticipate to drop in the coming weeks regarding the Limitless Wrestling champion, Christian Casanova, and we've announced it. This will be his final independent wrestling match. So it seems like that Limitless Wrestling title, man, it's a blessing and a curse for us, because the blessing is we get some of the most talented individuals in the world holding it. And unfortunately, it usually means they're knocking on the door of some big pastures. But what better way to send Christian out here than this massive championship match between he and Daniel Garcia?
The championship is the golden ticket, John, and Christian Casanova continues to hold that right now. But yes, his final independent wrestling match, going one-on-one with Red Death Daniel Garcia, the man who met him in the finals, the final two of the 2020 Vacation Land Cup. Daniel Garcia, I think, undisputed number one contender. I think after his performances at the VLC, defeating Lee Moriarty, the performance in the finals, nearly defeating Christian Casanova, I think that's tough to dispute. I mean, I think you can make cases for a lot of roster members, including the likes of J.D. Drake, Alec Price, Ashley Fox, just to name a few. But Red Death Daniel Garcia, the body of work that he's been putting in, not only in Limitless Wrestling, but all over the independent wrestling scene, I think these are two of the top independent wrestlers in the world.
Yeah.
I think that's clear, especially with really. I go back to the pandemic thing where everyone's kind of lives were really shaken and taken away if you're an independent wrestler, and it really kind of separated some from the pack of who was ready to go, who answered the call, and who used that time to better themselves as a professional wrestler, which is a really tough thing to do in a time like that. And I think these two were at the head of the pack.
Did you see what Daniel is doing WrestleMania weekend?
I saw, 7 or 8 matches?
8 matches in 3 days.
That's crazy. But the endurance on that dude, I'm not surprised. But this, I think, is shaping up to be one of the most talked about and one of the best matches in Limitless Wrestling history. And I will talk about it at length, I think, in the coming weeks.
We will.
But one I'm very excited for, and one that everyone I think should seek out and watch. If you're not planning to watch this event yet, I think that's a seller right there for anyone.
I think we need to talk about Christian, though. And there will be a time and place to discuss what's next for Christian. Obviously, the rumor mill is certainly spinning. But I'm not going to lie to you, man. I got pretty emotional about this because, kind of breaking down the current a little bit, Christian Casanova, throughout the years, and you and I have been so high on Christian on this podcast and at Limitless Wrestling events. Christian is one of the most humble, good humans that has ever walked through Limitless Wrestling. And yeah, there were times in Limitless Wrestling where he was awfully cocky, but you know what? He earned the right to be because he's that damn good. And seeing this come to pass where he climbed that mountain and captured that prize that eluded him for so long, and now to see him in his final independent wrestling match have this opportunity before he moves on to big things, it really hit close to home for me, and I sent him a very, very long, heartfelt message when we made this match official. And it was, I know how close you were with AG when all that went down. Was it something similar for you with Christian?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I'm talking to AG most every day. Christian and I has always been a very professional relationship, but like it was very cool. Like we actually talked to the Vacation Land Cup taping a little bit about it because that's really the time frame when things kind of started to circulate for him, and kept me in the know about everything. And it was just it happened a lot quicker than I anticipated because seeing how COVID has really affected everything in terms of the signings. Sometimes you think people have a lot more time left before things start to pick up and the gears really start to get in motion. So just kind of being on the outside and seeing how this has come together for him. And it's been, the goal that he's been working towards. It's been what all this is all about. And to be able to host his final independent wrestling match, that's an honor, honestly, because Christian has been here since day one. There have been, times where he hasn't been here all the time, but I mean, throughout that first year, we saw the Thriller of New England. He comes back with Stokely Hathaway. It's an all-new Christian Casanova. And we've just really, had a front row seat to the metamorphosis of Christian, seeing all these different phases he's gone to that's led to the top talent, the man who he is today. Just very cool to see because it's a testament to the hard work that he's put in, the dedication to his craft, and it's all paying off. And he, speaking with him about this matchup, I don't think there's any other match that he wanted to have on the way out. And especially with the opportunity that he has at hand to do something that his friend, a former training partner, Anthony Green, did on his way out as well. And that's relinquish the championship and provide opportunities for the locker room.
That's so funny that you bring that up because when this match was announced as Christian's last indie match, I saw all these people on social media saying, well, we know who's going to win. It's Daniel Garcia. I was like, dude, you think just because this is his last match that like that means Daniel Garcia is going to win? I was like, Christian's not the type that's going to hold a title hostage. Like if Christian wins this, he's going to want to better the locker room and have others follow in that path that he had to go through, where he had to go claim a vacant title by proving that he had it all in him. And I know that if he wins this match, we're going to see pretty much the exact same situation that we just saw heading into the VLC because he's an honorable guy. And, Daniel wants to capture that thing, obviously, but like Christian's not the kind of guy who's just going to walk away with a title and that's that,
Right, and he straight up said on social media that he would like to provide the same opportunity that was provided for him because that's how Christian got the opportunity to become Limitless Wrestling World Champion. It was because Anthony Green relinquished the title, the Vacation Land Cup came into play, and not only Christian, but 7 other wrestlers along with him in the locker room got that same opportunity. It really opens things up for people and creates some magic, creates some moments that you may not get otherwise. So
So
it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out.
could
Daniel Garcia obviously does not want the fairy tale to end like that for Christian.
Could Vacant become the first 2-time Limitless Wrestling champion?
Yes, that is a possibility.
I can't wait for this match. We got a little taste of it. I think they wrestled for like 7 minutes or so in the VLC final.
It was something like that, one-on-one.
So, and think about how much they had to go through to get to that point. They weren't fresh. Now we get this match fresh, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm so happy for Christian, and frankly, I'm very happy for Daniel too. I'm really happy for him because this is a guy who's overcome a lot of adversity and has worked his ass off to get here. So this is a huge opportunity for him. And sure, he's a little cold, he's a little callous, but he's an amazing pro wrestler. And if he wins that championship, I can't even imagine what kind of matches we're going to be seeing in our main events going forward with him as champion. So I think it's a win-win for us.
It's going to set the scene for 2021, so I'm very excited for it.
Certainly so. Also announced for this show, we got Myron Reed, Hotfire, making his return. He was supposed to be at the VLC, but he had some travel issues, so instead we're going to see him here.
Yes, and that we can confirm Myron Reed will be in the building for this one. No travel issues. Kevin Blackwood, another member of the Buffalo crew, along with Daniel Garcia, will be there.
That's going to be
Ken Broadway.
Okay. Ken Broadway.
Very excited about Ken.
Ken Broadway, a guy that we've seen in Limitless Wrestling before, but it's been an awfully long time.
Yeah, literally 5+ years at this point. His one and only appearance was at Under Fire, ironically the Hero Saber show that we talked about earlier. So he's really, speaking of metamorphosis with Christian Casanova, Ken Broadway, going from a time frame when he was out of wrestling, he deleted all his social medias, he was gone from wrestling, just kind of seemed like someone who you meet throughout the years, shows a lot of promise, and then falls off the face of the earth a little bit. And I think he took that time to himself to better himself and to really figure out what he wanted to do moving forward, and that's music and wrestling. And he's back in both, and just had a single drop on Spotify, and now making his Limitless Wrestling return.
He is quite literally living the gimmick, that guy.
Absolutely.
Pretty cool stuff there, and he's a good dude. I'm excited to see his match. And a return that a lot of people called for. You hadn't seen him in Limitless Wrestling before the VLC, but you're going to be seeing more of him. Big Beef.
Yeah, baby. Big Beef.
That's your guy.
I think you were the person who told me you're the watch along with your podcast listeners.
There were two people. There were two people on our watch along that they fell in love with on the VLC. Big Beef and Becca. And I know that we're going to be seeing more of Becca down the line. I have no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
But Big Beef is someone that I was like, okay, I know nothing about Gnarl Scarvin going into the VLC, and then I see his match that he had, and holy moly, this was just awesome. So we're seeing him again, and if I know you, Randy, I don't know his opponent, but if I know you, it's going to be someone that he's going to be able to slap some meat with, so I'm sure that will be a good one.
You can guarantee a little hoss fight on this card, and I'm sure Big Beef's going to dabble, so stay tuned on that, because that one's probably coming soon.
Okay, that's good to hear, and there are still many, many, many more people to be announced for this card. I've had a chance to peek at most of the card, and this is going to be a hell of a show, and I'm very, very excited that people are going to get to see this. And I'm also excited because it means that there's going to be opportunities for people to punch their tickets to Double Vision, Randy. And that goes through The Road, which happens on IWTV. And there's actually a new Limitless shirt dropping on shopiwtv.com, which Danger Kid himself designed, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's correct. Our new Pine Tree State logo tee. I love it. I finally got to see one in person. Our boy Ethan Scott picked one up. Got to see him yesterday, and he had the new shirt, and it looks unreal printed. We have a store now on shopiwtv.com. There's a bunch of exclusive designs on there, but this one is IWTV exclusive. This one is not going to be printed by us. It's not going to be available at shows. The only place you can get that one is on Shop IWTV, designed by Danger Kid. Some really nice yellow and pink colors in that one. It really kind of gives a vibe of like a main state shirt you'd get from like a travel stop as well. So I think I really liked how that one came out. Danger Kid's doing some graphic work for them now, so check out the entire site. He made a nice IWTV logo t-shirt as well. But we've got the Fighting Lobsters on there. We've got our I believe it was our 4-year anniversary shirt, the diamond logo. They've got the first ever Let's Wrestle t-shirt on there as well for our Let's Wrestle fans. So a lot of cool stuff on their website. Definitely check that out, but especially that new shirt that dropped earlier last week.
Pretty cool stuff, and I talked about it, Randy. Punching tickets. So let's not waste any time, why don't we? Opening episode 1 of The Road Season 3. Breaking news here. Opening the episode. The first match you're going to see on The Road Season 3. Winner goes on to Double Vision. Tyree Taylor versus the main attraction, Mac Daniels. Randy, I have waited so long to see Mac Daniels get his paws on Tyree Taylor. Do you know what Tyree Taylor did to me?
Oh, I do. I was on the call, and it was delightful.
No, you don't know what Tyree Taylor did to me because we got chased backstage. And there, Tyree Taylor continued to try to rough me up. But he took one glare into the main attraction's abs, and he ran away scared. Okay?
I would highly suggest that did not go down that way.
You don't know. There were no cameras. But you know who it is. And it's the main attraction, Mac Daniels, squaring off with Tyree Taylor here. I was talking to Mac earlier, and I told him that while I'm not able to be present for this match, as I have many commitments as his agent, he has my full support, and I'm doing everything that I can to ensure this opportunity. I spoke with our social team here at Limitless Wrestling, and this is how we are painting this match. The winner advances to Double Vision with a match to be determined later. So, huge opportunity for one of these guys to make their Limitless Wrestling main roster debut on a full-scale show here.
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity. We saw Mac and Tyree at the VLC qualifier, as you were saying. You might have got a little handsy. Let's just...
The main attraction, Mac Daniels, looked out for me. He put aside his personal goals to ensure that his best friend would be okay. How admirable is that?
Bromance over title opportunities, I suppose.
It's guy love.
Okay. Hashtag guy love. There you go. But yeah, I felt like these two definitely had a score to settle with each other. And now, big implications on this matchup for your boy. I mean, he not only gets a match with Tyree, he gets this opportunity to get on the main card, to get on a full-scale Limitless show. And I don't know, man. Tyree Taylor is such a tough opposition to stand in his way.
Yeah, but have you seen the main attraction?
Oh, I've seen too much of him. I see him way too often. Luckily not. I see him more than you. I think I wouldn't be happy with the other side of that coin, but...
Yeah. Okay. I know how you feel about me. Deep down, you put on this facade. How about this? After this match, after Mac Daniels wins, I'll treat you to a nice soggy Cumbies sandwich.
That'd be great.
Okay. I thought it would be
We'd
great.
have to, here's the thing about the Cumbies sandwiches. You have to know what time to hit it. You can't just willy-nilly go at 3 a.m. You can. You just have to scout,
See, here's the thing. With Wallow, you don't have to do that. You can go at any time and still get excellence. So, anyway, main attraction, Mac Daniels, is going to be headed to Double Vision. Looking forward to that. Then, cool match here. Davian and Tj Crawford. Tj Crawford is somebody I really like a lot, and I will certainly have my eyes on this match. Davian, you were telling me a few days ago, Davian seems more focused than ever right now and has her eyes on the prize.
Yeah, she seems locked in right now, and I think putting out some of the best matches of her career, especially right on the road. I mean, I look at the Alec Price match from last season. She wrestled Rip Bison, Love Doug. Christian Casanova early on in season 2.
Had a run on AEW Dark as well.
Yes, recently appearing on AEW Dark, defeating Becca at the 2020 Vacation Land Cup. She's 6-2 on the road, but I think TJ Crawford really adds a new element to someone who she hasn't really faced yet, who can just hit as hard as he can, who's as quick as TJ is. The Windy City Kid is really picking up some steam, especially in the tri-state area, doing a lot with your friends at Synergy Wrestling, and has been quite successful everywhere he's been lately. So I'm excited to see this one. I think it's a really neat clash of styles, and it's going to be a big challenge for Davian to kind of keep her momentum rolling here.
We've got the Prestige versus the Competition. Two teams, I'm just going to be real with you, Randy, I do have my eyes on as someone who's always scouting talent. Something about the Prestige that really resonates with me.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, what do you like about these guys?
I think it's their swagger. There's something about it. And BRG is someone I've really known for a while now, and I've seen his evolution and growth, and he's really coming to his own. And I think Channing has shown that he's got a ton of potential too. So I'd like to see more of them. We saw them at the Vacation Land Cup show, and I suspect that we'll be seeing more of them as a team as the road unfolds. But the Competition is a squad that they've been mentioned here on this show in the past, but they are a team that's been so start-stop in the world of main wrestling, now finally looking to corral themselves, get it together, and prove that they belong in that budding Limitless Wrestling tag team division.
Yeah, I literally watched a match from, it must be like 15 years ago at this point, maybe not 15, 12 or 13 years ago, of the Competition facing a young Danny Dugan and a young Kenny Omega in Buxton.
How crazy is that?
I know. But just like, you're exactly right. They've had a lot of starts and stops. Sometimes they've been on different pages, and sometimes they've just come back singularly and have done single stuff and not really, it's just peaks and valleys with these two. And right now, I think they're as focused as they've ever been. They're in a ring all the time. They're working out all the time, training all the time. It's just it's a new chapter, a new element with this team, and they're on a 2-match win streak here on the road. They're really trying to prove something. They've said the phones are ringing, and MSP's not answering. They've been calling for a long time. They've been barking at him in backstage promos. If they can get a win here, that could be a solidifier for them to get that match. But I look at the Prestige as well. I was just talking about Brett the other day of just another guy who we've seen kind of from the start. We saw him at IWE first, and I think that's where you met him as well, and just have seen him grow into who he is today. The Prestige is something new that he's doing with Channing Thomas, so this could be a huge victory for them if they can pull it off here against the Competition.
BRG's a real smooth worker, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
I really think there's a lot of potential there. This is something a little different here, too. Tell me more about this Bobby Orlando Bobby Slam Open Challenge.
Well, Bobby Orlando executes one hell of a Bobby Slam. He's the innovator of the Bobby Slam. Have you ever seen one, John? I don't know if I can explain this to you. It's essentially a body slam, but instead of body, it's Bobby's name.
Correct.
Right. So
it's like Erica.
Bobby Slam challenge.
It's like Erica.
It's nothing like Erica, your named trophy thing. What would you, if someone asks, right? Like, let's say a family member sees you, posting about Erica, and they're like, "Oh, John, what's this Erica deal? Like, is this a romance? Is this a friendship? What is the explanation of what you guys are doing there?"
She's my significant other. She is significant. Okay. She is significant to me.
That's fair. I think that would be significant to anyone, especially name-worthy. But, we roll on. Bobby Orlando's got this Bobby Slam Open Challenge. It's open to anyone in the locker room who'd like to accept. We haven't had anybody sign on yet, but the roster is stirring. The dojo's stirring, so I'm interested to see who's going to answer this. Is it you?
I'm a little busy. I just told you that.
Bummer, because that would be fun.
What would be fun about that?
I don't know. Either, I mean, I don't know what would be funner, seeing you try to execute the Bobby Slam or seeing you get Bobby slammed.
I'd like to remind you that I have more Royal Rumble eliminations than you do in my career. So you
How
want
did it
to
end for you?
you I eliminated 205 Live's August Gray.
I don't think that technically counts as your elimination. You weren't even in the match.
I certainly assisted with it.
Yes, you certainly did give the assist.
So that guy's on WWE television.
Okay.
And he's awesome. You ever see him?
Yes,
Okay.
I've seen him a time or two.
Okay. Gotcha. Just checking. When are we ever going to see that match? I've been begging for you to put that match on social media.
Honestly, I will probably
You're never going to
edit it this week because I have some free. Yeah,
you say that to me every time I bring this up.
I watched it the other night.
You watched it? Is there commentary?
No. That's what I was getting to, though, is I probably will do a release without commentary.
You realize we can do a watch along of this match.
Well, fuck it. Let's do a watch along of it.
We could do a watch along of that Rumble match, which I stand by was the single most fun I have ever had at a pro wrestling show.
It was fucking excellent.
The 2020 Let's Rumble.
The moment of, I'll have to send this to you tonight, but the moment of CJ Cruz clotheslining Mac Daniels over the top rope, eliminating him. I know it's a tough moment for you, but I have never seen the Let's Wrestle crowd come unglued. Like, it was literally the entire side of people out of their chairs. I was feeling like it made me sad. It really made me sad because, like, it just, to see what we were building there and to see, like, I just miss the live crowds. It's such a bummer of what we're in right now. But it's nice on the flip side of it to see, like, how much fun that event was in its entirety, because that card was also killer too. It was McCarthy, Calvin, Fans Bring the Weapons. That was Danger Kid, Devin Blaze, which was quite a cool throwback. Just a lot of fun stuff was on that show.
And that Rumble match was perfect.
The Rumble match was so, like, just by everyone involved, so well executed. There was so much fun stuff within it.
I was the Iron Man of that match.
What?
Sorry, Mac Daniels was the Iron Man of the match, but I was there with him.
Okay, yeah, that's a little more like it. I would like to do the math because I'm very curious at who has the longer run in a Rumble. It's either him or Calvin Strange. Calvin entered number 1 the year before, and I believe was down to the final 2. But I have a feeling that Mac's run may be longer because there was so much that went on after the number 30 entrant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It felt like a longer Rumble.
Well, he's the perfect combination of aesthetics and athletics, so...
All right, I wasn't trying to put him over that hard.
The outlier.
It was literally just a fun fact.
The outlier.
Yeah.
That match ruled. It's super great. I really would love to see that get up in the archives, and I think we should totally do a watch-along of it, because it would be a lot of fun.
I think a watch-along would be a lot of fun.
Because most people haven't seen that match.
No, because if you were there, you saw it. If you weren't, you didn't.
Okay, that'd be a lot of fun to do. Let's make it happen. So that's The Road, Episode 1, Season 3, dropping this Wednesday on IWTV. Any more details you want to share about that?
7 p.m. as always. If you don't have an account on IWTV, you can watch this for free. Sign up with the promo code Limitless. You can actually sign up today if you're listening when this drops, and have the free trial extend through The Road on Wednesday. There's also all of Season 1 and 2 of The Road on there, available anytime to stream. A ton of Limitless past events on there as well. The Anthony Green documentary, which has not dropped anywhere but IWTV. It's an exclusive. So a ton of stuff on there for Limitless if you want to check it out. Again, promo code Limitless.
You can do that for the pay-per-view as well, for Double Vision. If you want to wait a little bit, you can use it for the pay-per-view. So
absolutely. And if you stay on, I mean, it's $10 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And you have unlimited access at your fingertips. There's an app for it as well for your phone to be able to watch literally anywhere. There's a Roku hookup as well. So so many ways that you can watch Limitless Wrestling. Promo code Limitless gets you 5 free days. It's $10 a month. And if you use the promo code and stay signed on, we get a little kickback from that. So it always helps. But as always, a lot of the road you're going to be able to see on youtube.com/Limitless Wrestling as well. If you haven't subscribed there, please do. And as always, as well, at LW Main on Twitter, at Limitless Wrestling on Instagram while we're at it, and Facebook.com/Limitless Wrestling. That's where we're posting all the updates for the road, all the updates leading into Double Vision. There'll be a lot of interviews, a lot of different things for you to check out soon.
At John Alba, too, because that's just a good place to get content. And we can also give you one more thing here before we end this episode of the Limitless Wrestling Podcast. You talked about finding ways to get fans back out to a venue. Well, it's happening. Not quite a Let's Wrestle show, but something pretty akin to it, I'd say. It's our first live show in nearly a full year. It's the Limitless Dojo Student Showcase this Friday in Brewer, Maine. 35 people will be in attendance. Masks are 100% required. It is not optional in any way. You must wear a mask. Distance seating. Every person on this show who is working the show will be providing negative COVID tests before participating. And I want to make that clear, too. That's the way it was for the Vacation Land Cup, and that is the way it will be for Double Vision as well. Everyone involved with the production of the show will have proven recent negative COVID tests. We're doing this the right way. No other way around that. Tell us about this showcase here.
Yeah, that's the same protocol that we've had in place for the road for quite some time for any of our large taped events like the Vacation Land Cup or Double Vision coming up on March 19th. And that's the same protocol that we're keeping, obviously, with any events that we do right now. So that's the requirement for the wrestlers and anyone participating on the event in terms of crew. And yeah, as you said, 35 people, masks are 100% required. There's distance seating. There's a ton of space on the floor. It's a 125 cap venue, so we're going to have no problem spacing out 35 people. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Tickets are sold out already. I'm not 100% surprised with the little that we could put in this place, but it's a start. It's our first ever Limitless Dojo Student Showcase. Going to have a spotlight on those who have been training throughout the pandemic, who have continued to better their craft. And some of these people we're actually just getting onto the Let's Wrestle shows. So it's going to be some people like a Jacob Drifter. Your boy Mac Daniels is going to be there. The Belfast Bulldog, Dave Dye, all products of the Limitless Wrestling Dojo.
Sorry, I had to hack along there. My apologies.
Why? What's wrong with your boy Mac Daniels?
No, not Mac Daniels.
Oh, Dave Dyer, it must be.
Yeah, the worst. It's like
he's got a big match coming up
in
on
the
rankings
show. Of the worst. It's Eric Greenleaf, runaway number 1, but number 2 is easily the Belfast Bulldog, Dave Dyer.
Eric Greenleaf also will be there.
Are you trying to deter people from attending the show?
No. I think Greenleaf does a fine job, as does Dave Dyer, as much as I don't like his barking.
Okay. Eric Johnson, Danger Kid, and we've got two announced matches so far. Jesse Nolan versus Dylan Nix. Dylan Nix, someone who's really been putting a lot of work in over there at the dojo. And this is a Limitless Wrestling caliber match here. This could be on any Limitless show. Alec Price versus Aiden Agro.
Still wanted to give everything a Limitless feel as much as we could, so it is going to be that mixture. It's like a melting pot of some wrestlers you'd see in Limitless, some wrestlers you'd see in Let's Wrestle, and of course, the spotlight is on the Limitless Dojo students for these shows, and it's going to be something that we're going to try to bang out a format for and see if this is something that we can continue to do. Obviously, if all goes well, this is our test run of something like this, so we really appreciate the support from those who bought tickets and bought them up quickly, and I'm excited for this one, especially Price and Agro, who I think in the few times that they've been in the ring together have a very unique chemistry that I've always wanted to see in a long-form singles match. So they're going to get that opportunity this Friday.
Is Mac Daniels main eventing?
I can confirm for you, John, that your boy Mac Daniels will not be in the main event.
That's fair. He's the main attraction, so it's
well, cool. There you go.
It's cool. Whatever he's in is the main event.
He's a walking, talking double main.
Whatever he's in is the main event.
Sure.
Isn't that right, Erica? Yeah, I know. She gets a little shy around the mic, but
no, that's totally understandable. I mean,
rumor has it you might be hearing from us ahead of this Mac Daniels Tyree Taylor match on social media soon.
Oh yeah, okay, all right. I'm interested to see what she has to say,
and we're interested in hearing what everyone out there has to say because our next episode is going to be drumroll. Ask Limitless, our favorite episodes. We're going Ask Limitless. So we're going to put up a post on social media asking for your questions. Just use the hashtag. You got to use the hashtag, otherwise we're not reading the questions. Ask Limitless. Hashtag Ask Limitless. That'll get you your question heard here on the Limitless Wrestling Podcast. We'll have plenty of things to answer, I'm sure, after our little seasonal hiatus and with this big show coming up in Double Vision. And it really feels good to be back in the swing of things. I think we're on the horizon of some big happenings in the world of Limitless.
Yeah, I'm certainly stoked that like this full event format is something that's sustainable. It's something that we can continue to do, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who supported Double Vision thus far, to everyone who all supported VLC, from local fans to podcasts. All around, we had just so much support with that event, and it really was encouraging to have something like that work out and have something like that be able to be a format that we can take into 2021, continue to adjust, but continue to move forward with so that we can provide even more content, even more shows, and more distractions from this crazy world that we're living in right now for everyone who loves Limitless Wrestling. So a big thank you from me. And I hope everyone's ready for a lot more to come in 2021.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, John.
You're so welcome. And we appreciate you guys listening. We'll see you next time.